The equipment needed for the 1 mile jogging test and the 1 mile walking test is that of proper running attire, a 400-meter track or a running surface that equals that of 400 meters, a heart rate monitor which is optional and can be calculated manually, a pencil and paper, and a stopwatch. I will begin with the 1 mile jogging test. It is advised that a 2 to 3 minute warm-up is performed prior to the submaximal test. This test is appropriate for 18 through 29-year-old men and women. It requires moderate steady-state exertion. Heart rate should immediately be measured following the test. The duration should be at least 8 minutes for males and 9 for women. Since this is a submaximal test, heart rate should not exceed that of 180 beats per minute. Once I completed the 1 mile jogging test at a moderate pace, I immediately calculated my heart rate by counting the number of beats in 15 seconds and multiplying by 4. I did this by placing the fingertips of the index and middle finger on the carotid artery. Up next is the 1 mile walking test, which is also known as the Rockport 1 mile walk test. It is recommended that a 5 to 10 minute warm-up is performed prior to the submaximal test. It is appropriate for 20 to 69-year-old men and women who are sedentary. The goal is to walk the mile as fast as possible without running. Therefore, a minimum duration isn't required. Heart rate should immediately be measured after the test. After completing the 1 mile walking test, I calculated my heart rate by using the same procedures as the 1 mile jogging test. An alternative to calculating heart rate via the carotid artery is by placing the fingers on the radial artery, which is located on the anterior portion of the wrist. Following the completion of both tests, I went ahead and calculated my VO2 max by following the upcoming formulas. For the 1 mile jogging test formula, I converted my body weight from pounds to kilograms, time from seconds to minutes, plugged in my heart rate, and plugged in the appropriate gender variable. This is 1 for males and 0 for females. For time, I converted the 2 seconds for my time by dividing by 60, which equaled out to 0.03. I proceeded by plugging in the following variables: 62 kilograms for weight, 8.03 for time, 148 for heart rate, and 1 for the male gender variable. By completing the formula, my VO2 max is that of 58.62, which classifies me as superior based on my age, according to the American College of Sports Medicine. For the 1 mile walking test, I calculated my VO2 max by using the given formula. I plugged in the following variables into the formula: my body weight in pounds, my age, the appropriate gender variable, time in minutes, and my heart rate. The time conversion was done by taking the 15 seconds of my time and dividing by 60, which equaled that of 0.25. Then the following variables were also included in the formula: 135 pounds for my weight, 24 for my age, 1 for the gender variable, 16.25 for time, and 136 for heart rate. My VO2 max was calculated at 45.14. This classifies me as good, based on my age, according to the American College of Sports Medicine.